Charles from FilSwan team. So as usual, we bring to everyone about how the HyperDrive impacts the ecosystem development. So as everybody knows that FilSwan team is dedicated to the Filecoin ecosystem development, especially on the application side. So we are dedicated to build a hyper storage and the computing solution on Web3 based on Filecoin. So this is the gas fee changes over the last year. You can see that we have a high level at around 5 nano, and at a very long time we have average on 3 nano. Recently, it's around 0.2. Basically, means that we have reduced 90% to 95% of gas fee. So for the development side, what does it mean when you have so much gas fee decrease? So this is the current network, which I just take a screenshot a few minutes before the meeting start. You can see that the average price is it's close to 0 per year, and the current minimum size of file is 4 GB. Actually, because the gas price become even lower, which means the burn fee become lower, people are more willing to send the small deals instead of large deals, same as a miner. Previously, like miner doesn't want to accept any deals smaller than 8 GB. So with this decrease, application developers can use much more small data, so you can retrieve faster, you can upload faster, and you give you much more space to control your application. Yeah, this is two data which is very interesting from the last 6 months. First one, keep on watching the internet network price of average miner. We have a system, signed system with over 100 miner worldwide. We recording their daily price change. So this is what we can find is the average non-verified deal price is dropped from 0.65 per year to 0.3. Basically, you save 50% of your cost while you save data. Another side is a verified deal. Even though the miner doesn't charge anything for verified deals, but it still costs the burn fee. So for now, the burn fee for the miner is dropped from 0.2 per deal to 0.009, which is great for miners. So basically now we don't really need to worry about when we take the 10 plus data, and we maybe lost some fees due to the gas burn, which will transfer those cost saving to our application developers. So who will benefit from those changes? There are two groups of people who has been benefited directly. One is the screenshotters. As everybody knows that every 1 or 2 months, we have screenshotter competitions in the Filecoin community. Currently, we are on the 2.5 screenshot, and you can see this is the overall storage has been saved on the network. Yeah, so in this frame, we have about 700 terabytes. Previously, we have 21 petabytes globally. Imagine how much burn gas fee has been spent on those 21 petabytes. That's a huge number of Filecoins, but now it's becoming easier. And those other applications potentially we are using those storage service on the Filecoin network. This screenshot is taken from the Filecoin Community collective discussions. You can find it on the GitHub link. If you found your application is not there, you can submit it to the GitHub and get your logo properly showing here. Those are some category of services we found will be interesting for storage providers, and we just put some typical application who's working on it. The most famous one is IPFS, or Filecoin storage. Those ones is directly connected to the Filecoin permanent storage, which means that the reduce with gas fee will direct those applications. TechCL is very famous in the community. People using it a lot in the slingshot. And recently they have Istro and Slate, which is allowed to upload single file and images to the network. They have a bucket design, so they doing it a schedule-based their bucket to the storage network. With the gas fee decrease, now it become much cheaper. Recently, they also have developed a prototype their new service called Web3.storage, allowed to upload a single file to the Filecoin network. And the good news is that that storage is free forever. The reason is because using the verified data, miners willing to sell in the data with zero price because gas is also very low. It can be ignored. The DeFi and the payment part become interesting as well because when you're doing the DeFi, currently like Filecoin doesn't have smart contract at the moment, even though I know developers are actually working on it for the VM. So when you're doing the transfers, basically like you're doing something like payment hubs. So you need to lock some file to a hub. Then on the other side, you wrap it to a Ethereum token or other blockchain token. So we know that there's some projects like CodeFi, Secure Finance, and Raptor token. So when you're doing those sending files, adding those transactions, it does cost burn fee as well. If you have very high fee on this end, then the total payment, you maybe have 5% or 6% loss previously. But now, because the gas fee is very low, you can keep 99% of value. But still on the other side, the Ethereum chain maybe cost you a lot of gas fee, but this Ethereum problem, that's not a Filecoin problem. Another interesting part is CDN access, because I know my team is building a CDN solution for different users in the global wide can fast retrieve their storage. While you're doing the storage retrieval, you also cause your burn fee to initiate the transactions. So with this kind of decrease of the gas fee, which means that retrieval price will be, the total cost of the retrieval will be decreased as well. It helps the miner team to building an even stronger distributed CDN network globally. Another two interesting things currently we are working on is the first one is working on the edge computing solutions to bring the computing data close, computing resource close into the data. LivePeer is doing something related to the video transcoding. While we are doing those works, we need to retrieve the data and upload the data from the Filecoin network. If the gas fee is too high, it will cost us a lot of fund. At the end, those become the cost for the users. Imagine some video transcoding, maybe just $1 or $2, and your gas fee also costs $1 or $2, which means that in double the cost. For now, we don't have this issue. So generally speaking, that with the gas fee decreased by the HyperDrive, all the application now become much more useful, and we can see that it make us more close to real world, and it's especially the storage part compared to AWS. When we're using verified data, we can see that we almost has unlimited advantage compared to AWS. Yeah, thanks everyone.